Hello and welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club, the place investors go to gain actionable advice, learn about current market trends, and hear war stories from other professional investors out there in the field today. Before we get started, I have two quick housekeeping items to cover. First, if you like the episode, we would very much appreciate a like, subscribe, and share. It is the best way to support the show and keep it running. Second, if you are a new investor looking to get started in real estate or an experienced investor looking to take your investing to the next level, we created an ebook for you that will cover how to find deals that are actually deals, how to finance those deals with little to no money down, and how to exit those deals for maximum value. On top of that, I throw in an insane amount of free bonuses that you'll have access to once you buy the ebook. All we charge is our admin costs to keep the show running. So, if you're serious about real estate investing and want to create both active and passive income as an investor, head on over to the website at therealestateinvestingclub.com and click on the button that says Get the ebook to grab yourself a copy today. So with that said, let's dive right in. Today we have a very special guest with us, ready to drop some investor knowledge on you. So buckle up, grab your pen and paper, and enjoy the ride. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club Daily Deal Review. Today we have with us Axel Meierhoefer. I think I actually got that last name right.
Yeah, better and better.
If you would like to hear more from Axel's podcast, the full podcast should be probably a day or two behind the release of this one. So if you want more, check out Axel's full podcast. But this one is his individual deal. We're going to jump into the details of that. So Axel, why don't you get us started? Where'd you find this property?
I found it actually through one of our turnkey providers in Dayton, Ohio.
Ohio, man, I love Ohio. It's a great market. And what type of property was it?
It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single family home about 5-6 minutes from downtown.
Single family, 5-6 minutes from downtown. Ooh, great location. Mm-hmm. And so what about this particular property really enticed you? What did you love about it?
Well, two things. When I first looked at it, and I have this habit of actually going and visiting the properties if I can, right? And most of the time I can make it happen, even though this year is a little tricky. I went in and it really, even though it's not as big as you would nowadays think a mansion would be, but this would be the property that you would think maybe in early 20th century that somebody would build for like the mayor or something like that. Yeah, right? Wow. It had all these like awesome like dark wood, real wood surroundings around the windows. It had like real wood, like awesome French doors, real hardwood floors, but all the rest was crap. The thing was basically, the real wood was basically holding the place together. But I was immediately blown away to say, wow, I can see the potential. If this is renovated right, it will be awesome, especially because of the location.
I love it. I love when you see like a crappy house, but then like your investor hat switches on. You're like, there's gold here. That is there could be a lot going on with the structure. So that's great. Yeah. So next question, how did you find this property?
Well, like I said, I found it through our turnkey provider. The relationships you remember from the podcast, I work with out-of-state turnkey providers, and the relationship had grown to a point where they typically, before they even put it out on the website or for other investors, notify me and say, hey, we have one. In this particular case, it was, we have one, but we're not really sure even ourselves if we should take it because there is so much stuff that could be wrong with it. We are a little afraid. Would you be willing to go on a deal like that has a little more risk than normal? And I said, well, I come by and take a look. I saw it and I said, well, even if it costs 10, 20, 30 more to renovate than we normally would think, I would still want to have it. Right. And so that's how that happened.
Perfect. I love it. It's, the sore thumbs usually, they give you the most satisfaction when you're done. And they also, most times, you can create some good value there. So how did you actually finance this property?
Yeah, we financed it actually traditional FHA, 20% down. The tricky part about it was and this is maybe a good lesson for your listeners, is I basically negotiated right on the spot when that was presented to me and I looked at it a sales price. So I negotiated it for $80,000. And the tricky part in the financing was that the lender said, we normally don't do anything below 60,000 in the loan. So we literally added everything we could in to get to 60,000 on the loan.
Just add some more money in there. We gotta hit our threshold.
Yeah, like closing costs and this cost and lawn care or landscaping, all kinds of things. New air conditioning and yeah.
So this next question, I'm sure you're gonna have a lot for this one. How did you add value to this? What value did you add to the house?
Well, one of the things is this is really the absolute exemplification of the ugly duckling. When the house was renovated completely, right? Like we really renovated it down to the studs. But when people started to come to visit as potential tenants, they literally started fighting over each other on who could ultimately rent this place. Wow. And it's, I believe, not just because of the close proximity to the city, but really because it's a special place. And it's a testament to the relationship to the turnkey provider that they allowed me to have input, because they would have done this typical that you see a million times. Everything is light gray walls, white surroundings, white doors, white kitchen, white everything. And in a place like this, it would have completely ruined the whole ambiente, basically, the whole touch and feel. So we repolished and resurfaced the hardwood floors. We brought back all those wood surroundings I mentioned. And this thing looks like a 1,300 square foot little mansion when you go in. And some people would have said, no, this is a little bit too traditional for me. But astonishingly to me, a lot of people said, this thing has real character. I can see this as a home, right? And that was actually the thing, So as an investor, normally I'm not getting that much involved. But in this case, I have to say it was definitely worth it to be a little bit more hands-on. Yeah.
That old time charm. It's there's definitely something to be said for that.
Yeah. Well, it immediately made it feel like home, right? People put like their couch next to the fireplace and they looked out the window with like mahogany looking like wood around them. It's just a different experience.
Yeah, not something you find out there in the modern construction for sure.
Right.
Next question, how'd you exit?
I don't think I'm going to ever exit on that one.
Well, buy and hold, that's an exit.
Yeah, totally. Well, and on this one, it's also, we're making 1.3% performance, right? Because people fought over it and it's only going to go up from there. So,
I love it. So speaking of the numbers, let's get into that. So what'd you buy it for? Would you rehab it? And what's the performance like right now?
Yeah, so we bought it for 80,000. Like I said, I negotiated that, put in 18.5, which I think is a great testament to any listener of your podcast that you don't need huge amounts of money to get into a really nice property. We're renting it right now for 850, probably going to go to 900 next year. And like I said, it's somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, depending on your mode of transportation from downtown.
Perfect. And last question, what is the biggest lesson you learned through this property?
Well, in this particular case, I would say never avoid or try to avoid the $300, $400, $500 to go and look at it.
Yep. That is great advice.
This one, it's especially important because if I would have allowed them to just do the regular, what they always do, which is what you see in any kind of turnkey offer or renovation type offer, it would have potentially, I would say, pretty much ruined the place. Right. Perfect. So having been there and having a little bit more input on what is actually going to be done to it was hugely important, and will, for the rest of the time that I have it, will always pay dividends.
Yep, I am a big believer of seeing every property that you buy, although I've broken that rule a few times myself, but definitely being able to see the property makes it.
Yeah, and and you can break it when you have a really good trusting relationship like I have with my turnkey providers, where, if it's a pretty much standard that we have done 3 or 4 or 5 times before, then, the relationship is actually the guarantee. But when it's something special, or like in this case, I also wanted to see, how bad could it get, right? How bad could the foundation be, or all kinds of stuff. By the way, as a little side note, in the end, there were maybe $5,000 more than we would have expected for another property of a similar kind. So it wasn't really that bad. And I still think somebody put some serious money in when it was originally built. And just because it's older in the start, now it's basically like brand new almost. But the older foundation, if it's done better than standard, then you also benefit long term.
Yep, absolutely. I do think that older houses, though worn, they tend to have better bones for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Especially if it was at one point the best one on the block, right?
Yep.
So.
Absolutely. Well, that's it. That's a Daily Deal Review. So, Axel, thank you for talking about your property. Again, if you guys want to see Axel's full episode, check in the history. You'll be able to check it out there. He goes a little bit deeper into the turnkey investing strategy. So check that out. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Thank you, Gabe.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode and were able to pull some actionable advice that you can go home with and apply to your own investing business. Before you go, I have a gift for you. If you're a new investor looking to get started or an established investor looking to take your business to the next level, I've created an ebook just for you available on the website. This ebook will cover how I was able to create both active and passive income in real estate with very little money to start with. In it, I will address the 3 most often cited obstacles new and veteran investors run into by showing you how to find a deal that's actually a deal, how to finance that deal with little to no money down, and how to exit a deal for maximum value. And if you get the ebook today, I'm going to bury you in bonuses, 7 of them to be exact. First, you'll get the off-market lead generation blueprint, which will take you through the exact systems and processes we use to generate off-market leads like clockwork, which is the most important skill when it comes to creating real wealth in real estate. Then you'll get the A to Z REI systems and vendors guide, which will allow you to peek under the hood of our business and see the exact tools and systems and even the vendors we use to grow our business. After that, you will get the top 100 best performing keywords pack, which will give you the exact keywords we use to target leads online and generate leads without having to lift a finger. Next, you'll get the contracts bundle for wholesaling and renting real estate, which will give you access to all of the contracts we use in the field to execute all types of transactions. After that, you'll get the Investor's Quick Analysis Calculator and Offer Tool, which will allow you to quickly calculate whether a deal is an actual deal and will allow you to create an offer automagically from those calculations. Next up, we'll give you the Investor's Daily Success Tracker, which is a tracker you can use to ensure you are taking the right actions day in and day out to reach your financial goals in real estate. And finally, you will get the Wholesaler's Template for Quick Assignment Cash, which will give you the templates we use to present our wholesale deals professionally and efficiently to our buyers. I know that is a ton of things to say. I'm glad you were able to stick with it. So you'll get both the ebook and all of those 7 free bonuses when you download the ebook today. All we charge is the admin cost to run the show. So if you are interested in the ebook and the bonus bundle, head on over to the website at therealestateinvestingclub.com. Click on Get the Ebook Bundle at the top of the page and take advantage of that deal. With that housekeeping item covered, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day and even better week. Keep rocking real estate, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. All right, before I officially sign off, I have a quick announcement to make. If you're interested in becoming a passive investor in one of my deals, my own company, Kaizen Properties, is looking for capital partners for our upcoming projects. We invest in what are known as recession-resistant assets, mainly self-storage facilities, mobile home and RV parks, and industrial properties. If you're interested in investing and would like to learn a little bit more about my company, our investing criteria, and some of the previous projects we've done, go to the Real Estate Investing Club podcast at therealestateinvestingclub.com and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. Click on the Invest With Us button. That'll pop up the investor form. Fill that out, and we will reach back out to you as soon as we can. Or if you prefer a little bit more of a personal touch, you can reach out to me at gabe@therealestateinvestingclub.com. So really, that is it. Again, it was a pleasure hanging out with you guys during this episode, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.